Gentlemen, excellent to be back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, blowing your money in all the wrong places. Before we get to that, let me sincerely thank the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel, as well as those men who bought me a cup of coffee via PayPal, Bitcoin, based upon the last video. Men, go to the video description now. Become a supporter of this channel now. Click the link now. Before I get into today's topic about blowing your money in all the wrong places, I specifically want to follow up on the new Steve Jobs. That, of course, was Elon Musk. I did 2 videos about him last summer, one of which I was referencing how he had defamed, publicly accused a man of being a pedophile, a man who lives in Thailand of UK descent. And anyway, that man has decided to sue Mr. Musk, and Mr. Musk attempted to get that lawsuit thrown out of U.S. District Court in California. And surprise, surprise, the judge has decided, guess what? The lawsuit will continue. Mr. Musk, you will be defending yourself against this lawsuit on October the 22nd, as of now, and the lawsuit will go to trial. My words remain the same, men. Mr. Musk, prepare to write a large check to Mr. Unsworth, the plaintiff, due to your outrageous and defamatory claims. All right, men, on to today's topic, blowing your money in all the wrong places. I was recently out and about, and I saw a guy with a beautiful pearl white new Ferrari, red leather interior, a stunning automobile. Looked like a work of art. And my first order of thinking was, of course, impulse thinking, wow, this guy's very wealthy. He must have a lot of money. However, my second order thinking is, and I encourage you to think about this, is that assets are typically unseen. You don't see money in the bank. You don't know who has that apartment building or that office building. You don't know the owners of it. The point being is that this guy could be just some broke dick, if you will. He could just be some guy who could be leasing this thing. He might, he could be just some regular schmo. Maybe he's borrowing the car. The only thing we know for sure is that somebody doesn't have $250,000 in their bank account anymore. Instead, they have a liability, no longer an asset, on their balance sheet. Men, before you buy anything, and especially something of substantial value, and what substantial value is specific to you, I've got 3 questions that you need to ask yourself before you do so. Now, before I get into that, a quick word from our sponsor. Men, I know you want FU money. You want it badly. You've got a burning desire to walk away, that you want real financial freedom. The only way that you're going to do it is by changing your behavior. And you're only going to change your behavior by learning something new. One of the easiest, most effective ways to learn anything new is simply by listening to YouTube videos, by listening to, oh, that's right, audiobooks. Men, go to the video description right now. Grab your 2 free, I said free, audiobooks from Audible.com. Yes, Audible's owned by Amazon.com. There's not a scam. There's not a tricks. You can go to your free trial today, cancel tomorrow, and still get 2 free audiobooks. They got thousands of books. Dave Ramsey. You could go grab the classic, The Millionaire Next Door. You could go grab the richest man in Babylon. The point being is that they've got a ton of books. They cost you nothing. Go to the link today, men. Grab your 2 free audiobooks from Amazon.com. Back on topic. Men, you got 3 questions you need to ask yourself before you spend any money whatsoever, but especially, again, when we're talking substantial money. 1, you need to be clear, why are you buying this? You've got to be very careful that you're not buying stuff just to gain social approval. In other words, just to show off, just to think, well, when somebody sees me in this, or somebody sees me wearing this shirt, or with this particular item, that they're going to think I'm so cool or whatever, hip, etc. Don't be a tool of being marketed to. Don't fall into that trap of misforecasting that, wow, I'm going to be so great once I get X, Y, or Z. My life is going to be so much better off once I get it. I'll give you a real life example. Some years ago, I was in a particular city in a foreign country looking at real estate. I looked at a condo. to give this real estate agent credit who was with me, you know what he said to me? He said, "Why are you looking to buy a condo?" I didn't even think about it. I thought, well, of course I need a place to live, and this is such a great area, etc. But that got my mind thinking. That totally changed my perception of things. And ultimately, I didn't buy that condo. And ultimately, it was a good decision. The point being is that before you buy anything, again, especially of a substantial amount, think very carefully, just for a minute or two, why are you buying this? Next question you're going to ask yourself is, how often are you actually going to use it? Another real life example. I know a guy who spent over $1,000 on a bicycle. And in today's terms, that's not a lot of money. But you know how often the guy used the bicycle? Once. Yes, the guy used the bicycle once. I'm not knocking the guy. I've known people that bought boats, the same thing. They used the boat a couple of times, literally a couple of times. You need to think very carefully about how often are you actually going to use this. I would caution you to be careful where you've got some sort of fantasy that I'm going to be using this thing all the time and it's going to be so great, etc. If you're not using it today, it's improbable that you're going to be using it tomorrow. Next, start considering what alternatives there are besides buying. Can you rent it? Can you borrow it from a friend? Is there some other way that you can gain control of this item? Men, you don't need to own everything, especially in today's world. It's so easy to rent things today, far easier than it was 20 or 30 years ago. If you need to get a chainsaw to go take some limbs down from your tree, you don't need to necessarily go buy a chainsaw. You can go rent one. You certainly don't. If you need to move from location A to location B, of course, you don't need to go buy a truck. You can rent one. Start spending your money on things that you'll use immediately, that you're going to start using on a daily basis, and that ideally don't require any maintenance. Also, look for things that provide an experience or are they simply disposable. Buy yourself a cup of coffee. Ignore all this stupid financial advice about, we'll go skip a cup of coffee every day and over the next 60 years or whatever. Forget all that. Buy experiences. Buy your expensive cup of coffee. Go out and take that great vacation you want to do. The point being is that you're going to be buying things that are not necessarily tangible, but provide you tremendous experiences. Those are great things to invest your money in. Lastly, something else you're going to be looking to spend your money on are things of quality, not necessarily quantity. In other words, buy a few great things that you can really enjoy in your life when you are buying tangible items, when you are buying physical items. Again, things that you're using on a significant basis, on a regular basis. You don't want a bunch of mediocre stuff clogging up your mind and or filling up your closets, or God help you, where you've got to go get a rental space. Let me quickly give you 3 takeaways here, men. Again, you're going to be thinking about, why are you buying this? How often are you going to use it? And what are the alternatives you can get from this? You're going to focus your limited spending. Yes, we all only have a finite amount of money on a few really high quality things or a few high quality experiences that are going to generate most of your happiness. Too many people are blowing money on lots and lots of stuff, thinking that that's what's going to make them happy. No, that's not what's going to make you happy. A few things in your life, a few really great things and experiences in your life are going to generate most of your happiness. Finishing. You want FU money? If you really want FU money, you're going to focus your money on the few things that generate the most happiness in your life and stop blowing it in all the wrong places. Gentlemen, as always, hit the like button if you found this profitable. John Galt out.